So I haven't seen anything on Rivals. Let's just see what their dev updates are like. I'm just curious now. Okay, so this was like one of their things back on December, like about their dev vision. I just never saw it, so let's just see.
Dear Rivals, Guang Guang here. Today, I'm happy to share with you all the latest news regarding the Marvel Rivals roadmap. Firstly, my biggest thanks to the Marvel Rivals community for sticking with us and keeping the excitement alive. We are in the home stretch now. Since the closed beta test, we've been working around the clock to fine-tune the game for launch. Everything from perfecting our roster of heroes and villains to enhancing the stages, refining systems, and ironing out the last bugs. We're committed to making sure we deliver a game that's as epic as the Marvel Universe deserves. So bear with us just a bit longer. We're almost there.
Okay.
And the new content is shaping up to be something special. Now, for those who have been keeping tabs on Marvel Rivals, you've seen the 33-day countdown, starting with the big green guy himself, Hulk. Ages ago, Hulk was the first hero we built. His ability incredible leap.
Oh, what did I say needed to be fixed? Optimization. The optimization, like FPS. Straight up. That was the number one issue I saw, was that like that was something they needed to clean up. So if they clean that up going into launch, they got... I will say, it's been very interesting to... I've been able to see some of the reactions to Rivals. People are super excited about this game. Like, believe it or not, I think this game is actually pulling in a lot of Fortnite players too, just because of like that style. And actually, if I'm correct, aren't they doing like a Rivals like Fortnite collab in like a month? I think it actually is pulling in more than just Overwatch, like, you know, that genre. I think people are like legitimately excited for the game. And once again, to reiterate, this isn't like I love Overwatch, so it has nothing to do with it, right? I love Overwatch. I love playing Overwatch. I'm going to continue to play Overwatch, but I think it's cool to have other options and games to have fun with and try and even go back and forth with it at times. I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do personally, but I can see that being a thing. You know, there was, during the early days, especially of like Apex and Fortnite, you would actually see like kind of Apex and Fortnite streamers kind of both playing both. And obviously eventually people kind of went to the game they enjoyed the most and put the time in, or what game was doing better, like with pretty much everything. But they've had some really cool concepts that I've seen there. So I still think I've talked about it before. I think, but and once again, I could be wrong when I with this assumption, but Marvel Rivals doing well will be good for Overwatch. Because not only does it introduce the idea that Overwatch would continuously need to step up their game, which is an important part, it could also introduce even more people to this genre, believe it or not. There's probably a lot of people who still haven't played like the Overwatch style genre. So if you have a game like Marvel Rivals do well, and people like it a lot, but also hear about Overwatch, which is a very similar style, that also can introduce new players to both games and do well. So Overwatch really hasn't had to worry about that for the majority of Overwatch. I mean, none of the games that are like at the top or like popping off there aren't really Overwatch based, right? So this is kind of one of the first times Overwatch has had to deal with a game that looks like it should do well. Granted that that's a should do well, right? I want to point that out. Like that's the Rivals is going to be free, all the heroes are free, etc. It's on paper, everything is lining up for Rivals to do well. What they do post-launch is the real question. I think a lot of games will have that, that phase at the beginning where, like, it's fun no matter what. Like, it does not matter what is scuffed about it. It's just going to be fun. So post-launch is going to be important for them. But yeah, it could be really good for Overwatch and that genre in general. You said Marvel Rivals has so many heroes. Won't they have balancing issues? Are you ready for this reveal? Because I think this is something that gets lost in Overwatch, okay? You can't balance games like these. You can only shift what's being played the most. It's impossible. The only way you would be able to have a hero shooter be even remotely balanced is if every single map was the same. If everything was the same. And even then, that wouldn't even be remotely balanced. That would just be, you can have consistency. In what world can you balance a game fully in Overwatch when you have high grounds that exist, when you have maps that have different mobilities, different styles, different plays, different requirements, right? You can't... Is this what I meant when I get distracted from React videos? Yes. Which, in theory, I should be posting all these React where I get distracted because I end up having really good discussions that are revolved around the subject but going to different notes, right? It's what happens. The problem is that we don't ever post that stuff. So I still should do a better job of posting this stuff on YouTube because I think that it's just good for me to do. Because like this has become more of a talking about Overwatch and Marvel Rivals than it has been just watching this video. It's something I gotta do better of. I know. You know, maybe if I end up getting through this video, I can do like a reaction or post stuff. But you know, people ask me about it all the time. Like I said, I still think that Overwatch will benefit from Marvel Rivals doing well. Even if that, like, at the beginning, you see a little bit less people playing Overwatch because, you know, people are excited about Rivals. It's good to have competition in games. Just like with anything, it's competition can help raise the level of both games. So that's basically the point I'm making. Aren't they completely different games, though? I mean, they're basically very similar, but one's first person, one's third person. It's like Apex and Fortnite are very similar, but also different, right? You know what I mean? Like, they're a BR genre, but they're very different in that way, but they're in the same genre. Basically, a good way to explain it is Apex could draw inspiration from Fortnite, and then Fortnite could also draw inspiration from Apex. Does that make sense? Like, they both can, like, draw inspiration from and still try to get better, even if they're, like, very different in how they would technically play, because one's third person, one's, like, first person. You know what I mean? You said you've seen too many WoW killers to feel Rivals has a chance of killing Overwatch. It's not. That's not going to happen. There's not going to be a. There's this weird like thing where people think it's like someone's going to kill a game. No, that's not what's going to happen. And speaking of Final Fantasy 14, that's a good example because look at what Final Fantasy 14 did for World of Warcraft. And this is coming from somebody who played a lot of WoW and didn't enjoy the expansions for a while because a lot of the time they got stuck in the same like loop. And then recently, once again. There's going to be people who disagree with this, but War Within is kind of their answer to what Final Fantasy did. So now you have two MMOs that can draw inspiration from each other and also do well in the same genre, but also be completely different, right?
To make it unique and make it crazy. As the countdown ticks down on our starting lineup of 33 heroes, the final hero to be revealed will be sure to excite, especially the team-up ability with the Hawk. So, stay tuned for the rest of this wild ride. Regarding our seasonal roadmap, come December 6th, players will get to jump right into Season 0, Doom's Rise. Over the course of this month-long kickoff season, we will release a total of 33 heroes.
It's a good amount of heroes on launch.
For quick match and competitive modes, a conquest map, and a brand new practice range. Though I will keep
all
the
seems good to me.
About the newly added heroes under wraps for now.
That sounds good to me.
Doom's Rise is our opening season, and it's all about the chaos caused by Dr. Doom's time experiments, unleashing the time string entanglement, resulting in the formation of 4 new chrono verses.
Silent Hill 2 later.
The techno dystopia
I even have it in the title.
2099. The present timeline where evil readily strikes, the unstable space-time of the mosaic timeline, and the collapsing timeline where even the gods can die. Futures, pasts, and alternate realities will be woven into our ever-evolving narrative, where every match you play tells a story. But this is just the beginning.
Heck yeah.
We are eager to bring more heroes and maps to those who love Marvel Rivals. So, Season 1 will begin in early January 2025.
That's cool.
This season will be the framework for all our 4 seasons going forward.
Okay.
Where we plan to launch each season with new content, heroes, maps, team-up abilities, and maybe even new game modes. Each season will last about every 3 months. Behind the scenes, we're already laying the groundwork for next year, and it's shaping up to be something really is.
I gotta say now, that's very interesting because I was talking about how, like, for some people, like, taking breaks can be, you know, like, it can be good, like, sometimes, like, if you love a game or something. Well, think about that. Like, right away, we have Rivals is going to be about 3 months per season, and Overwatch is a game that's 9 weeks every season, right? There you go. There's opportunity there where, like, you know, if you enjoy both games, you now know that, like, you know, things might start to, like, chill a little bit towards the end of, like, a Marvel Rivals season, right? Maybe things start to, like, slow down a little bit. And then now you have Overwatch where you have more frequent seasons and you can kind of go back and forth between what I call hype cycles. Like, there's opportunity there. So I didn't even know that was going to be that. I mean, I still think 3 months is a pretty good cadence. It just depends on like what their plans are. Why are Overwatch streamers hyped about this game? Is it that good? It's interesting. We haven't had a game like this as Overwatch streamers yet. To be in like this type of hype. I like I said, I'm gonna give it a try, and I'll see how I feel. Keep in mind, this doesn't really change my thoughts on Overwatch. I love Overwatch, and I will continue to play Overwatch and do the content that we do for it. So I think it's a cool game.
Exciting.
Monetization, servers,
we
and
know the
language
topic
support.
that's been the subject of discussion among the community has been monetization. Above all, we want to remind the players that we are never going to charge for power, and there will be no pay-to-win schemes.
I think that's what people need to hear.
At launch, we are rolling out a battle pass packed with costumes and cosmetic goodies. Since Season 0 only lasts about a month, the Season 0 pass has half the content of a full seasonal battle pass.
Okay.
And is priced accordingly. The store will be regularly updated.
Yep.
Packed with costumes from classic comic looks, MCU-inspired designs, costumes that directly reflect the unique story of our game, and much more.
I mean, that's what you expect, right? And obviously, for games like this, it's like super important to get ahead of that and letting people know you ain't paying for heroes. We're not going to make you pay for something to get more power. Like, it's going to be purely cosmetics. And so.
One final note. We know we have Marvel Rivals fans from all over the world, and we are committed to making the best gaming experience possible to cover all our players. We've committed to maintain 60 server tick rate, and also expanded our server regions to ensure everyone has a smooth gaming experience. With our new server node selection feature,
This is words
you can choose a single or
server
group
stuff
of
that I don't.
servers
Yep.
best for you, optimizing for lower ping and faster matchmaking. We are almost done with these details, so be sure to check out our dedicated server node site launching soon.
Yep.
Additionally,
I'll be on
we are
that server
also
node
very
site.
happy to announce for voiceovers in English, Chinese, and Japanese, along
Heck yeah.
with text support in 16 languages on release. We can't wait for you to join us in the world of Marvel Rivals. Thank you for your support, and let's build this unforgettable adventure together. Ignite the battle.
I mean, that's pretty cool. You know, that's my first time watching the video because I've been a little bit behind on like catching up on like news stuff, but like it's pretty cool. Okay. Let me see this one here, like the dev update they just recently had like from 2 days ago, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Greetings, Rivals. I'm Zuyong, the
Hello.
lead combat designer for Marvel Rivals, responsible for ensuring our heroes, levels, and game modes are on point. First off, big thanks for all your support. We have been working hard preparing for the imminent launch of Marvel Rivals.
It's very close,
We
almost
are
time.
refining content, squashing bugs, and optimizing performance to make sure you all have the best.
I do
time
like hearing
possible.
optimized performance.
We appreciate all of the amazing support during the closed beta test, and we have gathered a ton of game balancing data and valuable feedback. With these insights, we have carefully adjusted the balance, reading in the raw power of heroes like Magneto and strengthening others like Loki and Jeff.
Ah,
New
Jeff the Land
heroes
Shark.
have also undergone rigorous testing to ensure an exciting and fair experience for everyone at launch.
Sounds good to me.
In response to the many requests for the detailed hero data, we have heard you and are preparing to review the exact game stats for our playable
I love
heroes
this.
on our official website at launch, providing a complete dossier for everyone. We are also gearing up to review important combat data such as win rates, providing a complete dossier.
First of all, I love that. I just want to point this out, and it's funny because I don't remember when it was. It was like whenever I had my last interview, whenever Blizzard asked me to do I don't even remember when, I mean, it might have been, I think we might be approaching 2 years since they've had me do an interview. I brought this up where I was like, is there any way for us to be able to get like damage numbers, like even in like the training range? And they was like, oh, that's cool. And that was it. I was just like, because I think it's good to have this stuff. I think sometimes it's a little bit easier for me to explain the strength of heroes, why they're good, why they're bad, with just having data like this. And yeah, you could do like a custom game mode, but like there's a certain point where it's okay to give people this data. And if somebody wants to use it, great, but at least give us the data. They have it in game. Like, think about this. You can literally go on there in like a custom mode, and like the custom modes have it. It's like an option you just turn on. So to not have it just like be an option, like turn it on like damage numbers. And you know, I can. It's a lot easier for me to explain to people why Widow's good or why you should play this range for Cassidy. Like if I tell somebody, oh, this is how this works, and they don't understand what damage fall off means, and it's just good to have these stats, right? There's another feature that this game has that I absolutely love. In Top 500 Rivals, you can actually go to the leaderboard and watch the games. So you can literally go in there and watch the games, watch people's replays back, and learn a bunch of different stuff. That's pretty cool. Like I love that you can do that, and this goes back to what I said why this like things like this can be good for Overwatch, because while they have these like small features people have been asking for, when another game starts to make it the norm, it then makes Overwatch might see that this is becoming a norm in this part of the game, and they go, okay, we'll add it too. Why not? Right? So like you start to get these like really cool features, and then they can kind of like draw inspiration and then also add that type of thing. But I think that's a really good option to have, to be able to go into their replay system and watch that stuff. So it just, you know, once again, this kind of goes back to what I've been saying, where I do think that Rivals doing well is going to be good for Overwatch, and you won't notice it right away. But over time, you'll start to notice that they'll probably start to like we need to go through and go, okay, we're missing this. Like, why don't we have this? And yeah, drawing inspiration from those games are good. All right, I'm going to continue on for a little bit just to see this.
Okay, for everyone. We are also gearing up to review important comeback data such as win rates and but this will take some time.
Okay.
Rest assured, we will meticulously gather the comeback data after launch.
I do need to pause this for a second. Do you know that Overwatch actually has our map win data? Like, technically, you could go and ask Blizzard for your map win data, and they'll give it to you. I still think, to this day, they should have win rates on game modes and maps, so I know what my weakest maps are and what my strongest maps are. This data exists in the game, and if you ask Blizzard for it, they give it to you. That is something else I've been wanting to see. Though that should be an automatic thing in the game already for years. To show you, like... Just to show you like what your map win rate is, what your game type win rate is, things like that. So, yeah.
And share these vital statistics at the right time. Stay tuned for our upcoming dev diaries as we embark on this exciting journey together.
Heck yeah. Okay, what is this? Game experience optimizations.
Since the closed beta, our focus has been perfecting the game for launch, enhancing core operations, fine-tuning comeback responsiveness, and elevating information delivery.
Okay.
This encompasses everything from our earliest heroes as well as our latest additions. When it comes to character actions, we have carefully fine-tuned the transitions and seamless blending of animation for our heroes, especially those larger-than-life actions like Magic and Hawk, creating a more natural and fluid combat experience. We have also adjusted hit effect and elemental decals to make
all sounds
them
good to
more
me. That's cool.
Over longer distances.
I hope it doesn't hack FPS up.
Intensifying the impact of attacks.
I hope the FPS
such
is good
as
though.
With Mantis and Hela's left click. Additionally, we have reorganized the visual effects hierarchy to bring more order to the chaos of battle. Soundscapes haven't been overlooked. We have boosted ability and impact effects to make them more powerful and refined comeback mixing to highlight important audio cues.
I want to pause actually. You know what? You want to know a random quality of life feature that Overwatch added that like has grown on me so much? Remember when they randomly changed like their interaction with Mercy's damage boost? What a great change that was. They did that randomly, and like at first I was like, this is weird. But like now that I play the game, like now we're like 6 months since they did that, I'm like, this was a great addition. Like holy crap, like because like so if you didn't know, like you couldn't whenever somebody was damage boosted, the only way to be able to see it was like the jump rope damage boost beam. Like you would see that and you'd go, okay, they're damage boosted. But now if like a Mercy's hiding behind a wall and you can't quite see stuff, you can see this like blue glow and you're like, oh, wait a second. Like they're damage boosted, or like red glow, whatever it is now. You're like, wow, they're damage boosted. Like I know I need to be a little bit careful here. So that was a really cool thing they added.
Such as those alerting players.
Yeah,
to
Juno Wall 2
imminent
does it.
danger. Our UI enhancements include clear reload prompts,
Mm-hmm.
ensuring that players are ready to unleash their powers.
Heck yeah.
We have also customized specific UI elements for certain heroes, such as providing clear feedback for Mantis about which heroes will benefit from her damage boost and healing. We
cool.
have poured our hearts into crafting an unparalleled hero experience, and we can't wait for you to experience the fun at launch.
Okay, map quantity. What's this?
In the days leading up to launch, our maps have undergone extensive refinement, including collision smoothing and performance optimization for the launch of
That was
the game
important.
starting
Performance
with
optimization is
Season 0.
huge.
Over the month-long season, we will be adding new maps, including 4 new quick match and competitive mode maps,
Okay.
1 conquest mode map, and a new practice range to improve your skills.
I like that.
And let's take a look at some of the new maps. First,
Okay.
we have the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, featuring Burning T'Challa and the Hall of Jelly.
That looks really cool.
The Domination and Convergence modes respectively, each offering a glimpse into a grand and mysterious future.
You know, it kind of, like, just to pause for a second. Like, I wonder how different of a process it is for, like, let's say Overwatch and then, like, Marvel Rivals when it comes to, like, creating a new hero or a map. Like, in Overwatch, they have to, like, they're like, okay, first of all, what's their name going to be? All right, we're going to go with Greg. Okay, what's next? Okay, what ability are we doing? What do we call the ability? We'll call it Greg's Spear. They have to, like, go through this, like, whole concept just to get to that. Meanwhile, they're like, in Marvel, they're like, all right, open up a comic book. Who do we got? Oh, there we go. We're good. We need to make our next map. All right. Oh, okay, we're going there. You know?
Futuristic nation set in the chronoverse of unstable space-time. The special form of destruction on this map has been titled Wrath of the Erasure, where destroying specific structures can unleash the rest of Wakanda's gods.
Ooh, that's kind of
each
cool.
delivering a unique gameplay
Okay, so it gives you, like, a random, like,
Next,
high ground control. I like
shortly
that.
After launch day, we will head to Hydra's shattery space, Hell's Heaven, where a domination mode takes you into the volcanic heart of Antarctica, challenging you to shut down Hydra's interdimensional power. As the battle unfolds,
This is the video they just
hidden
did that we
base
saw,
terrain will
right?
Shift as the Hydra base transforms as they enact their invasion protocol, which will completely alter the dynamics of offense and defense. Finally, we will arrive at Kalinka, symbiotic surface, with a convergence mode that immerses players in the origins of symbiotes, where darkness and chaos reign supreme. Engaging with the symbiotes during combat will transform the battle experience with every interaction. We are calling special form of destruction living symbiosis, as the alien planet will respond to being attacked and reflexively build entirely
When is it released?
new
December
structures.
6th.
Players can
Okay.
also embark on an adventure through the new Conquest map, Tokyo 2099, warped Ninomari, where damaged environment debris
I like the
will
vibe of
get
this map.
sucked up into the
It's a cool
bottom
vibe, huh?
directly above Tokyo 2099.
Map has a cool
creating
vibe.
Visually stunning impact. Lastly, we have designed a brand new practice range map to provide every hero with a comprehensive practice experience.
Okay. Anti-cheat measures.
We strive to ensure a fair play for everyone. Combating unfair exploits has always been our top priority. During our previous CBT, we put in place a cutting-edge anti-cheating system and closely monitored any dishonest behavior, properly applying appropriate penalties. Throughout the CBT, cheating incidents remained below 1%, with cheats being caught and banned within an average of less than 7 games.
That's like-
Our vigilance also
I feel like that's like, what, at least 700 less games than Overwatch currently does it? I'm memeing. I know it's a lot quicker. One thing I will say, and this is something that also was really cool, and this happened during the beta. So they had, anytime they had like a server issue or like had issues, they would actually give back like your like if you lost SR. and stuff like that. It was really cool. I remember like the servers were having issues and they literally just said, yeah, we had server issues for like 2 hours. Here's all of your SR back that you lost. Because they didn't want the server issues to be an impact. I like that idea in a sense, right? Overwatch doesn't have that right now. Overwatch, like if somebody cheats for 100 games in a row, you lose all that SR if you lost 100 games to that cheater. Vice versa, people won 100 games. I think their concern is that how will the people that won 100 games with that cheater on their team feel if they didn't know they were cheating? That's why I think Overwatch doesn't do anything like that, is because they get concerned about that. It's like if you're a player who just climbed 300 SR, but then you log on and lose 300 SR because you had a cheater in your team every game. I think that's what they're concerned with. But there's probably like a middle ground way to figure that out. But obviously it feels bad if you just keep playing against like cheaters over and over again and your rank just goes down and they're just like, sorry, nothing you can do about it. Unlucky for you that you were in their games. You know what I mean? Which is kind of, it feels bad at times. So
Extends to consoles, where we have actively monitored behaviors like the use of Zim.
it's good they're staying ahead of that.
Internally, we are actively developing detection methods for such behavior and have made significant progress in this effort. The fight against cheating is ongoing, and we understand that it will continue to be a challenge after the launch. Be assured, we are unwavering in our dedication to upholding fair play and ensuring an even playing field for everyone. Feel free to let us know about cheaters. Together, we can foster great experience for everyone. Looking ahead, we have got some top secret stuff in the works for the upcoming seasons.
Cool.
And let me tell you, the heroes and maps for Season 1 are about ready and currently undergoing final touches. Plus, we are cooking up even more exciting content for future seasons. Please look forward to it. Thanks so much for all your support for Marvel Rivals. See you on December the 6th. Ignite the battle.
Heck yeah, that's cool. I mean, everything's lining up for it to be a really cool game, right? Like everything's lining up for them to like have like this like cool concept. Now it's, you know, like I said, I'm more concerned about their post-launch than I am about like their launch. I think their launch will probably have some server issues because I think the game is going to probably be even more popular than they believe at the launch. But overall, I think it's going to be what they do post-launch than what they've done up until launch. It sounds like they have the right idea though, so